Hello and welcome to the show. We start this week's Failrace episode with Dewdog on GTA 5. Now they are buying a car, as you do on the game, as we've all probably done many times. What I haven't seen happen before, though, is the game decide, rather than to put the car in the warehouse, just to spawn it on the player. That's, yeah, not quite what we were expecting. Unassailable Orc up next on Simrail is minding their own business, travelling around on a train, but keep an eye in the distance on a bridge, because for some reason an AI car... I'm actually surprised the AI, like the traffic cars that are kind of programmed in this way. I guess the bridge didn't quite spawn for it. It fell down and then kind of trundled its way away, and I mean, it got out of the way of the train in time, and it has since vanished. But, yeah, random appearing cars. Domestic Canadian is finding out the AI are mean on Wreckfest. Yep, that's it was actually a very, very efficient squish against the wall for the following car. It just puts is it the rocket or whatever special version of the rocket it is that they were driving it into the wall, rolled over, landed on its wheels at least, and can carry on. But yeah, the AI, they can be brutal. Wobblier Guide is up next on Call of Duty. I don't know what this thing is called, but it's got a big gun on top of a remote control vehicle. Sounds like fun. However, in true Failrace fashion, yep, they found a way to roll it. Not only roll it, but then get it stuck under the floor. Even, I would say curbs, it wasn't even a curb, it was more of a crater that this thing rolled off of, but it had the same... effect. It falls over. We're on to Need for Speed Unbound. Now, we're used to the cars doing silly things, the police cars doing silly things in the chases here. This time around, though, watch out for the helicopter. Yep, that's a helicopter ignoring physics. It turns out as well, if you go back the other way, it's just this bridge is apparently a bit iffy for the helicopters. They don't quite know where the bridge is, and they go too low, and then they spin their way up through them. Wonderful stuff. Reza is up next on Assetto Corsa. Now, these are both AI cars, with the Lamborghini deciding it wanted to remove the Toyota from the competition, and the Toyota ending up through the floor. Not completely through the floor, it kind of got stuck with its butt hanging in the air. But yeah, not really much the Toyota could have done in this one. It's joining the circuit, gets a big bump, and over it goes. Kind of reminiscent of that Maldonado, was it Maldonado and Gutierrez crash at Bahrain? Along those lines. This is from on board the Lamborghini, so it's kind of there racing the Porsche a little bit. It slows down. It slows down specifically to murder the Toyota, it would seem. Oh dear. Oh dear indeed. We move next on to WRC Generations. Now, we've seen on rally games many times you have the roll and you can land on the wheels and carry on, sometimes barely affecting your run. That's not what happens here. No, the car turns in a little bit too much, clips a rock, goes for a roll, and is then balanced. Quite well balanced, with none of the wheels touching anything that can be used, and that's going to have to be a reset. That's not having a good time. Marius is up next on SnowRunner. They've got, was it the P16? Been a while since I played this game. Big, heavy off-road truck. One of the bigger trucks that you will come across. Certainly in the original selection. I can't remember all the DLCs added because there's a lot of them. But yeah, this, big serious truck. I think they're trying to take a shortcut. Shortcuts are never a good idea. Trying to get down that hill. Sure enough, they try and winch their way over the rock before managing to balance it. It is a perfectly balanced truck. One of the biggest trucks that you are going to get. I don't know whether it can't. It might... They never at any point tried to winch it off. I'm going to presume you probably could still winch it somewhere along the way, but it is just very, very well balanced on there. Not what you need. We have Immortal Egg up next on Euro Truck Simulator. Now, they are going a bit too fast. They're trying to not lose too much time going through a toll booth, as they're going way too quickly and get it wrong. And then physics gets very angry with them. Don't mess with toll booths. I found it out on Beam. It's apparently also something to be aware of on Euro Truck, is that's an unhappy truck. It is actually making its way forward, which is quite entertaining. Somehow managing to kind of glitch its way forward through all of this. Not the correct way. You say, well, that security camera would have had a hell of a shot going on, but we've just got a possessed truck in this. That's not how things are supposed to go. Just be a little bit slower. Just a little bit slower going into the toll booth is a good idea. And finally, we have Rob on Junkyard Truck with a truly epic tale. So I've never actually played this game, but apparently they were trying to move a house or move workshop or whatever, so taking a lot of their stuff with them. And it turns out this is quite difficult to do in the game. So first of all, a bunch of stuff falls out the back of the truck for no reason. Well, that's a little bit annoying. The engine stand teleported back into the truck, and then when they clicked on stuff, things went everywhere. Okay, not a great start. Not a great start. I mean, if you've played Long Drive, you will know this kind of pain. But don't worry, it gets sillier. And then the engine stand, well, they can't really pick it up. It will keeps wanting to go into the floor. They finally then pick it up, and it won't be picked up. I don't know whether it's supposed to be too heavy to be carried like that, or I don't know how it's loaded in the truck in the first place. Either way, after a lot of faffing around, stuff ends up back into the truck. Everything is good. So finally, we can carry on. Something else that pinged out of it is on the floor. That might have left it in gear, which is not so good. Frantically jump back into the vehicle. Do manage to stop it. I mean, that would have been a hilarious moment as it was, had it managed to run its way down a hill. But no, never fear. The truck has been stopped. They're now trying to load something into the back of it. That's deciding it's having none of it. And the player decides, you know what? Let's just leave it be. Okay. Fairly sensible choice. At this juncture, we'll just carry on, not worry about whatever the hell that was. You can come back for it later, and then things get weirder. Yep, the truck stops responding to steering inputs. Again, gonna guess something to do with it being heavily laden with stuff is causing the vehicle. That's definitely not how this truck should be driving or moving. It's just kind of skidding itself about over the surface, and then it starts freaking out and glitching around. So, well, the player bravely gets out of the truck, still moving about a bit on its own accord. And that was probably not a great idea, but you've got to try and figure out what's causing it, and then it's off. The truck's in the distance, and I love that the lights are bright enough that you can see that is spiralling through the air from the flashes of lights, and there's all of your stuff that was in the back of the truck, now not in the back of the truck. Yep, and it's all littered everywhere after much time and much running about. The truck is found, though. Good news, the truck is still there. I mean, it's not really got much of the stuff left in the back of it, but it was at least found. It didn't completely fling itself off of the map out of the world entirely, which is, I guess, good. In the grand scheme of what could be good and what would not be good, it could have been worse. I mean, not much at this stage, but it could have been. So, there we go. That is going to be it for this episode. As ever, if you have more clips you'd like to submit to this series, you can via a Google form. There'll be a link to it in the description. All the rules and how it works can be found on there. That, though, is going to be it from me. Thank you all very much for watching, and until next time, goodbye.